The Bargany Aisle at Ballantrae in South Ayrshire is the burial place of Gilbert Kennedy of Bargany and Alstincher and his wife Jean or Janet Stewart of Ochiltree. The aisle and the mural monument it contains is thought to have been built around about 1604-1605 and was attached to the pre-existing parish church rather than being an existing structure. At Glencain Aisle in Comores is thought to have the same master mason. David Scougal of Crail in Fife had carried out the work. However, David Cunningham of Robertland was the King Master of Works at the time, and he may have had input to the design of both of the mural monuments. Scougal left his mason's mark and his details at the Glencain Aisle. However, there's nothing to be seen at the Bargany Aisle. We certainly know that Janet Stewart personally knew David Cunningham of Robertland. She may have visited the Glencain Aisle. The interior walls of both the aisles were once plastered. Also, the monuments themselves were once brightly coloured with gold leaf and so on. On either side of the armorial panel at Glencairn, there are a pair of peregrine falcons, which show the status of the Cunninghams as earls. There's nothing of that kind occurs at Bargany. At Glencairn, all the figures are shown sitting upright, with their hands clasped in prayer. At Bargany, the figures are both prostrate, and the hands are lying on their chest. At Bargany, the figures are lying side by side. This requires extra space. There's an alcove into which Lady Janet partly fits. This may explain the need for this awkward-looking baluster or pillar in the centre, which makes a big difference between it and the one at Glencairn. Just as at Glencairn, at Bargany the crypt lies in front of the mural monument. It's known that Gilbert and his wife are buried there, but no other burials are known of. The Kennedys had 3 children, and small representations of them are present on the front of the mural monument. They appear to be in prayer. Sometimes these were called weepers, praying for their parents. There may have been a Bible board beneath. Certainly the supporting arms are still present, and that would be very similar to what's present at the Glencain Aisle. Glencain Aisle also has 2 of the supporting structures have a shape of a snake, an Ouroboros, that is a symbol of everlasting life because they shed their skin. At the Glencain Aisle, the armorial panel is conjoined, with one side being of Cunninghams, the other side being of the Campbells. At Bargany, the armorial panel is entirely to that of the Kennedys of Bargany and Alstincher. At the Cunningham Aisle, the initials are conjoined together within a monogram, whilst at Bargany, the IS for Janet Stewart and the GK for Gilbert Kennedy are found separately in 3 separate areas. The divided pediment that sits atop of the armorial panel at Bargany is much smaller than the one that used to be present at the Glencain Aisle. The carving on the capitals of the 6 pillars is much finer at the Glencain Aisle, but this is probably due to the fact that they were recarved in 1870 after the monument was badly damaged by the collapse of the roof. Bargany Aisle appears never to have had any of the engraved metal plaques that seem to have been present at one time at the Glencain Aisle. Bargany Aisle doesn't have the large stone counterbalances that are found at the Glencain Aisle on either side of the armorial panel. The Bargany Aisle has been restored several times, and one of the records says, at least on one occasion, the repairs caused more damage than the elements ever had.